where all the makeup trucks and all the trucks were was across a park, and the park wasn't sealed off. So you literally had to cross this small park to get to the streets, which was public. So of course, at one point, everyone's walking back in zombie makeup, walking through the general public, and that's quite funny, the reaction, especially from kids. But yeah, you're sort of just walking back kind of normally and chatting away as well, which sort of made it slightly more surreal. I think if you shambled back, probably might not have been so strange, bizarrely enough.
Yeah, but I think that was really important to Frank and Gail and everyone involved in the show, is that they got the zombies right. That was kind of key for them, and that's why they wanted Greg Nicotero involved, and everyone had to do zombie choreography and attend zombie school, and really study up about how zombies move and walk, and that was really, really important to them. And luckily AMC said, you guys have all the freedom to do what you want with this TV show, which a lot of networks don't do. So you can expect blood and gore and guts. They're really, restrictions are non-existent when it comes to this TV show.
Oh yes, I saw some of that firsthand.
Yeah.
They tear a horse apart in the.
Oh God, yeah, that poor horse.
And Greg emerged from the guys being the zombies just totally got into it. That was the funny thing. The guys at the front, when they were told to, you got to really get into this horse, they were really getting into this horse.
I don't even want to know what that was that they were pulling out of that horse.
It's not, because it used to be in the old days, it used to actually be bits of
guts.
Animal guts, but now it's some sort of prosthetic substitute. But people were literally, like this. But Greg was just covered, like, all up his arms. He was getting in there, not being a zombie, but just getting in there, getting it all, nicely packed in for the guys to. But again, with this guy, this screenplay guy, he was in the foreground. He was in like the forefront of the zombie action with the horse, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm going to bite down. I'll just pretend like this." But two guys who were really getting into it on either side leant down, picked up a bit of prosthetic gristle, stretched it like that across his face, and it snapped and just went. So he's still got a face full of prosthetic gore.
I know, and I remember watching episode 2 or 3. It was at my desk over lunch, and I just had to push it away. I was like, oh God, I can't watch this and eat at the same time, which I guess is a good thing.
Good.
Yeah. So. But I hope, from what you've seen, you think it stays true to the comic book in a way.
Oh no, that's. Yeah, that from that clip, obviously, and I've seen the trailer they showed at San Diego, which was slightly longer than that one, but obviously we didn't get the exclusive clip with San Diego. Visually it is incredibly accurate, and I'm amazed that they've stuck so closely to the comic because it's a reality-based TV show, albeit with zombies in. There's no sort of high conceptual design to the thing. It's you shoot in Atlanta, Atlanta's there, it's done for you, that kind of thing. Yeah. And I thought, are they going to? They never asked me to contribute design-wise to the show, but there again, I never lobbied for it because I just thought, well, it's going to. What can I really contribute? If they're just going to do zombies are walking cadavers. They'll get inspiration from a morgue more than drawings. But everyone kept coming up to me and saying, "Oh yeah, we really, looked at the drawings and we tried to do the zombies like the drawings in the book. We tried to do such and such like the drawing in the book, and some of the shots, are incredibly, it's almost like torn from the pages. So all due respect to Frank and Frank and his team, they've really gone to town to make it, a proper adaptation rather than this is, some other version of something, And
I think the beauty of it as well is that rather than doing yet another zombie film, they decided to go with a TV adaptation, of which I don't even know if that's ever been done before, a zombie TV adaptation, if not successfully, because I haven't really heard of it. But and I think that allows for a lot more character development and storytelling rather than, zombie apocalypse, survivors, 2 hours, bish bash bosh, we're dead and done. That's
Well,
it,
that's-
you know.
that's
Whereas
it,
like you can develop and explore it, like I suppose the graphic
That's
novels
why the
do.
comic works so well,
Yeah.
you know, because the actual core concept of The Walking Dead is not original at all.
No.
You know, so if it was, like you said, if it was just a movie, it would just be yet another zombie
Yeah,
movie.
exactly.
Whereas because it's a TV show, it's unique in the, like I say, in the first place because it is the first ever zombie TV show. We're unique in the fact, I think, also that it's the first ever TV show where the comic is current and is ongoing, and the TV show is kind of beholden to follow the comic. You know, obviously there's been adaptations of things like Batman or whatever, but because those comics have been around for so long, they can sort of cherry pick periods and storylines from any part of that series. Whereas with The Walking Dead, you know, they've kind of got to follow the book.
Yeah.
So that's kind of unique as well.
But I think Daryl, one of the characters in the TV show, is not yet in the
No,
graphic novel, which actually kind of works in reverse a little bit.
Yeah,
one of the characters that's in the TV show was an added character, and I think based on that, he may pop up later on in one of the volumes.
Yeah, I don't know, that's up to Robert.
Am I the first to break that to you?
Mighty no, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think also we've got to realise that, this is just a 6-episode first season. You know, if God willing, you know, we go to a second season, which will be, you know, I presume a 13-episode second season. And if it's still successful, we'll go to, you know, another season, obviously. The reason The Walking Dead, the comic book, is so successful is the zombies are the biggest MacGuffin in the whole series. You know, the zombies are just there to spur the characters on in a certain direction, and it's the characters that have made the book successful. It's not the zombie gore, it's not the horror, it's not the, you know, all that. I mean, it's a part of it, but it's not the essential part. And you know, the reason, as the trailer says, you know, the reason is, yeah, that makes a TV show, a comic book, a novel, whatever, a film successful is strong, good scripting and strong characterization. You know, if it can be scary, I mean, if it's scary, it doesn't really matter what sort of monsters in it, whether it's zombies, vampires, you know, something that's being newly created. You know, look how many vampire movies. Vampire movies have been going since, you know, Nosferatu in 1920, well, before Nosferatu, but you know, when Bram Stoker wrote Dracula, you know, it's you know, and still they managed to come up with a new twist on vampires, you know, and you know, as long as it's well written, as long as it's well staged and scary, I think that's the main thing. But you know, in the long and short of it, it's the characters. I've always said that The Walking Dead isn't a zombie book; it's a book about a disparate bunch of people who are trying to survive in a situation of extraordinary circumstances, the circumstances of which is the zombie apocalypse.
And I mean, it doesn't even just have to scare. There was a scene in episode 3 where I actually got a little bit misty-eyed, you know. It brings out just kind of all sorts of emotions. It's not really there, you know, we're here to kind of scare the crap out of you guys. It's not really what it's about.
No, if that was the sole purpose of the comic, the TV show, whatever, I think The Walking Dead wouldn't have lasted as a comic, the TV show wouldn't last if it was just solely to scare people. You know, you'd probably last 1 or 2 episodes and people get